Morning of day 67, and we are about to drive over to the trailhead. Okay, we are beginning our slack pack back to West Hartford. We are got about 14 and a half miles. It is 7:30, and gonna walk through town today. Maybe get some coffee, maybe a sandwich from town. So, but hey, 14 and a half miles is that much closer to Springer Mountain. So we are currently in New Hampshire and hiking back to Vermont. So by the end of this slack pack, we will have completed Vermont and on our second to last state of the first 9, whatever that means. Do math. World. Look at that. K2 again.
You win the award as the person we've run into the most.
Oh, Reagan, well,
Climbing that hill back there. This Shadow said, I wonder if we're going to run into K2 today. And it must have been less than a minute later as he comes over the top of the hill. And it's like, oh my God, there he is. So we've run into him, I think 4 times. 3 times when we were doing slack packs, and 1 time just in a store. So super nice guy. 4 miles of hiking coming out of the woods. We are at the Dartmouth baseball field. How about that? And I think we've got about 5 miles to walk through this town. Guess we're gonna go over in that direction towards that steeple. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so we're all recording the floor mural. Got the Appalachian Trail in Vermont, cow, moose, boats, our Lorax, and then we are here in New Hampshire, painted by Hanover High School students. I guess that is the downtown. Hopscotch. And then to Maine, to Katahdin. Now, time to keep going. Oh, look, there's Lorax again. Apparently the Appalachian Trail goes through Lou's restaurant. Yeah, so this is a group of folks from Georgia Tech, major in year?
Aerospace 2023.
Aerospace and Math 2020.
Civil 2019.
AE 2018 and 2019.
EE 2021 and I guess also 2021.
EE, Aerospace, Math. This is the smart one. That was interesting. 2 dudes came in and said, are you the thru hikers that belong to those packs outside? And we were talking to them. We found out they were a group of folks from...
Welcome to Hanover. Woohoo!
Group of guys from Georgia Tech. We are now leaving New Hampshire, going back to Vermont. So when we get back to our car at the library, we will have completed Vermont up to this point and can celebrate that. This is, I believe, the Connecticut River, maybe? All right, so that's the border marker. Kitty, 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 kitty. You got an interesting set of colors. It looks like we got another 5 miles on this road before we get back in the woods. And I can go number 1. Oh, finally.
7.5 miles.
We're going to, what, 7.5 miles? Holy moly. Trail goes along the edge of this. It's really hard to tell how steep it is. 4.2 miles to our car. Huh? Yes, there is an actual podunk. Another area where there's just a whole bunch of dead trees. I don't know if it's old dead trees and they've not had a fire, or there's just been some kind of blight that's come through, but and there's a lot of green still, but been walking through several miles that are just littered with dead trees. Yep, another stream. I've emerged from the woods, walking on a road back to the library. This is West Hartford Village Meeting House, circa 1832, National Registry of Historic Places. Looks like it may have been used as a church a little bit. And about 1/10 of a mile to the car. So Tom's sister's neighbor made us a lasagna and really delicious olive garlic bread and some 3-bean salad. So I ate a bunch of that and I had some ice cream, and now just chilling out here in Vermont, getting ready to go to bed. Actually, it's after 8 o'clock, so I don't know what I'm still doing awake. It was a good day. Day 68. We've been dropped off again and we're hiking Subo, I guess about 13 miles, 13 and a half miles. It'll be the last day of slack packing for a while. Once again, getting dropped off at the road, climbing up. Seems like they put the roads at the bottoms of all the mountains. So, hi Shadow.
Hostile witness.
Hostile witness. So Shadow's been reluctantly agreed to let me ask her a couple of questions on camera. Thank you. So this is Shadow. How'd you get your trail name?
Because I wear black.
Okay. And where are you from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. And let's see.
What do I like about hiking? Nothing.
Yeah. So what's your? Tell me a little about your backpacking resume or experience with the AT from the beginning.
When my kids grew up, I was bored. I read Wild and I read A Walk in the Woods and thought, I like to walk. I like nature. Not realizing what I had signed up for. I went and bought all the wrong stuff, and here I am 8 years later still trying to hike.
Nice. So what's been one of your favorite memories for so far on this trip? What are the things you've
That
enjoyed?
one day in Connecticut where I was dreading the day. It was hot like this and muggy and didn't have a lot of high expectations of the day, and we ended up taking a Blue Blaze to a cafe, a shishi cafe, having a nice breakfast, packing out lunch, going for a swim in the falls, and something else nice happened that day. It was just it was a really good day.
So we've been hiking together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What's the origin story on our little tramley from your perspective?
Let's see.
Started at Harper's Ferry.
Yeah, we were all standing right next to each other, unbelievably, when we look back at the picture. And I remember he was slack packing and had nothing in his pack and thinking, he's gonna through hike without little pack? Because we were all starting out, and most people don't start out slack packing, so most people start out with way too much instead of way too little. So I was kind of like, I wonder what's going on. Yeah, we're old, we're slow, and we just kind of worked out hiking the same miles, and you know, they need me to balance out their super big brains of spreadsheets, and they needed dumb blonde to balance out the group, so here I am.
Thanks, Shadow. Thanks for being
That direction takes us to the base of Smarts, where we're going to start tomorrow.
You say so.
Hold it up.
Everything but that. Let me try the other stuff.
All right, it was the other one. Yeah, so
Like my Indian thing.
what you got there? Turn, let me see it. One little, two little, three little Indians. Moose Mountain Trail, Moose Mountain Shelter. Wonder if we'll see a moose. Well, it got dark all of a sudden, and it is starting to rain. 10:30 in the morning, and I did not bring my umbrella, so I gotta decide whether I'm gonna put on my raincoat and sweat and get wet. Just let the raindrops fall on my head. We'll see. Either way, the phone's going in a plastic bag in the pack if I don't have the umbrella.
Oh man, yeah. I think it was like 3 days ago or something. It rained a little bit in the morning and then it got so hot.
So the sun came out while we was eating lunch. Hopefully it'll stay out for a while and I can dry out. Moose Mountain, South Peak. And I suppose there's a view there some days.
Matt Dustin stopped here abruptly February 2001. Poor Matt.
Guess he died here. Them things are yeller. Yeah. So we made it back to Trescott Road. This is the parking lot should be up here on the right, on this side of the road, Shadow. Oh, just went across to be complete. So I guess it only counts as a through hike if you walk every single step. So I am crossing the road too to get back to where we started on our slack pack yesterday down there. So I'm still legit for the most part, except for maybe one little part in New York where it was impossible for me to get down a rock. Maybe two parts in New York like that. How long have you been waiting?
Less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
It sure was nice of Mosey's sister Sue to let us invade her house while she was gone, and really helped us a lot with this trip.